Hi, this is Davis Woodruff, President of Management Methods Incorporated, Decatur, Alabama. Thanks for joining me today as we share 12 tips for more productive meetings. Hope you learn a lot as we share these 12 tips. Thanks for joining us.
Productive meetings. Most people today in the workplace spend so much time in meetings, hours after hours after hours, and many times we hear, "Oh, there's another meeting. What are we going to do now? We don't want to go. It's going to take the rest of our day." It's actually our firm did a survey earlier this year of about 330 managers and business leaders in 21 states with a 40% response rate or a little higher, and we found that one of the top 5 time wasters in business today is meetings that are not effective. Now, early in my career, I worked for a manager that would always come in 10 or 15 minutes late to the staff meetings. Well, we sat there and waited because nobody wanted to start early. Nobody wanted to start without him. Guess what? Over the course of a year, many hours were lost, productive hours. One day, we were sitting in there, and one of the managers in there decided, meeting's supposed to start at 10 o'clock. At 10:15, he stands up on the table, and when our boss walked in, he resets the clock to 10 o'clock. Well, he never did that again. But you get the point. We were wasting a lot of time. In fact, at one point in my career as a manufacturing superintendent, I discovered that I was spending 35 hours a week out of a supposed 40-hour week in meetings. Well, you know how the 40-hour week went. It was a whole lot more than that. So what I've discovered in my consulting practice over the years is I see many, many companies wasting time, precious time of their employees with ineffective meetings. So quickly, I want to give you just a couple minutes here how to have more effective meetings that can actually make them productive, and people will leave knowing what they're supposed to do, and you actually accomplish something during that meeting. So quickly, here are 12 simple rules for effective meetings. Number one, the basics. Have an agenda. Have an agenda with a timetable. If you don't have an agenda, the meeting will wander all over the place. You've been there, you know what I'm talking about, and it's true, it will wander. We all know that. So have an agenda, and then involve only the necessary people. How many times do we invite more people than necessary for a meeting, and we waste their time? So involve only the necessary people. Number three, start on time. Start on time. We reinforce, we've all heard this before, it's trite, but it's so true. We reinforce those people who come late by waiting on them to start. Start the meeting on time. And number four, come prepared. If you're leading the meeting, be prepared to lead the meeting. If you're to participate or bring information, bring the information. Be prepared. Number five, stay on track. I know here in the South we sometimes say let the rabbits run a little bit, and sometimes we have to let the rabbits run a little bit, and people bring certain things to the table they want to get off their chest that day, so we let them do it. But at some point we have to bring it back on track. Otherwise we'll lose our time contract with our attendees. Number six, encourage input from participants. You know, sometimes the person who says the least in a meeting can sway the outcome the most by getting them involved and bringing them out with some idea that is really good and really relevant to what we're trying to accomplish that day. So try to involve everybody in the meeting. Number seven, don't bore folks to death with too many slides, and fancy or otherwise. I've been in meetings and presentations where it's, as the old saying goes, death by PowerPoint. Well, you don't want to bore them to death with too many slides. If you're going to show a presentation, show only those things that are relevant and keep the information on the slides to a minimum. The eighth tip is to have appropriate handouts or other information. How many times have you sat in a meeting and someone's been talking about some in-depth subject and you just can't get there from here, and you wish you had a handout that was just 1 or 2 pages that was relevant and simple. You took it away with you. Hey, have the appropriate handouts. Number 9, know when to end debate and define action items. There are some things that we can talk about ad nauseum, and some things are just conditions of a business, and as I like to say, you ain't going to change those. I know that's not correct grammar. Okay, we understand that. But so know when to end debate. If you're facilitating a meeting or leading a meeting, sometimes it's just necessary to say, okay, folks, we've reached the end here. Let's go ahead and decide what we're going to do and move on. Then number 10, end on time. If a meeting's supposed to end at 11 a.m., end at 11 a.m., not 11:15 or 11:30. Okay, 10:58 is okay. It's always better to end early than too late. Give them back a few minutes. It kind of reinforces them to come back to the next meeting because it's been productive. It started on time and ended on time. Tip number 11 is publish minutes and action plans, which include responsibilities and timetables. As we like to say sometimes, if it ain't documented, it didn't happen. I had a boss one time many years ago that said, always volunteer to write the minutes when you go to a meeting because he who writes the minutes controls the outcome. Well, there's really a lot of truth in that when you think about it. So publish minutes to a meeting. That way we know what happened, we know what responsibilities there are, action plans are absolutely essential. And then the 12th tip is the one we always miss. Follow up on those action plans so that next time when we have a meeting, people come prepared and we've actually accomplished something as a result. So these 12 tips or 12 rules for more effective meetings, hey, I hope they're helpful to you, but just start with the basics. Have an agenda or the timetable, involve the necessary people, start on time, come prepared, stay on track, encourage input from participants, don't bore folks with too many fancy slides, have appropriate handouts, know when to end debate and define action items, end on time, publish minutes and action plans, and follow up. If you will follow these 12 simple guidelines in your business, I promise you, you will have more effective meetings and people will respond when you send out a meeting notice. They'll respond positively, as a matter of fact. So, 12 tips for more effective meetings. Thank you, and remember, the best is yet to come. God bless you, and God bless America.